Welcome back to another episode of Off the Bench Podcast. In this video today, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be giving out my Final Four predictions since the Final Four games will be played tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about the Auburn and Florida game first. Next video, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, please. It don't cost nothing to subscribe over here and support. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, like button, hit the comment section below, and y'all let me know who y'all got winning the game. And the next video that I upload after this one, make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe on this one. Y'all watch the next one. I'm going to be talking about Duke and Houston, but this one, we're going to be talking about Auburn and Florida, two of the top SEC teams, in their respective conferences and their respective divisions. They end up facing each other again in the Final Four, which, like I said, Florida and Auburn, they've been the best two teams in their conference in the conference, which is the SEC, was been the hardest conference, known to man, especially within this last decade. SEC been a slaughter fest. They this year in the NCAA tournament, out of 30 teams that made it, bro, they had like 16 teams that made the tournament. So they just let you know. I mean, let me take that back. Out of the 20 teams that's in the SEC conference, 16 of the teams made it. So that just lets you know, goes to show you like how tough and how deep the SEC conference was this year, and how talented it was. And for Auburn and Florida to be number one and number two respectively in that conference throughout the whole season, just goes to show you where they at in this point. And I want to talk about who I got winning my predictions, and how do I think each team should play to be able to pull off the win. But we're going to start off with my prediction. I got Auburn winning this game tomorrow for the simple fact that they lost to Florida earlier on in the season, back in February, which they lost by 9 points to the Florida Gators, which I think they're going to end up coming back, the Auburn Tigers, which I think they're going to end up coming back, will get back on their mind, with revenge on their mind, with extra fuel to the fire, with them knowing that we just lost to them early on in the season. I think that was the first team that Auburn had lost to, which they was basically running the SEC, running the conference. They were really running college basketball throughout them, and Duke. They were really running through college basketball this whole season. With them, they was the number one overall team in the March Madness tournament. That just goes to show you, but that's why I say I got Auburn winning this game, because to me, even with Janai Broome being out, we went down last game with the shoulder or elbow injury, whatever he had. He just had a lot going on. He's not gonna be in the lineup and be ready to go for this game tomorrow in the Final Four, which I do think that is a big blow, because Janai Broome, he's a big piece of what the Auburn Tigers like to do offensively and defensively, especially with his rebounding, his size, his post game, be able to slow down the tempo, slow down the game. With him being one of the candidates for National Player of the Year, that just showed you how good of a talent and how good of a player that Janai Broome is. But the thing is, with the Auburn Tigers right now, I just feel like they rolling. They playing on one accord. They playing on one string. They playing together, and I just think they got different ways to attack the Florida Gators offensively. Like I said, they got Petrifor, they got guards, they got good wings with Denver Jones and guys like that. They can be able to shoot the three ball, which I know the three ball haven't been particularly their strong suit in this tournament, which I'm gonna get into that after I make my statements. They got size on the interior with Dylan Cardwell, and even with Janai Broome coming out the bag a bit, they'll be able to crash the glass, limit the Florida Gators to second chance points, to limit their opportunities for kickouts off the offensive glass and stuff like that. So that's really the main reason why I got Auburn, because like I said, they've been a well-connected ball group, and what I've been seeing throughout the tournament, they've been playing well together. They've been playing focused, disciplined basketball. They're not really turning the ball over like that. They crashing the defense and offensive glass, which they out-rebounded every team they played so far in the NCAA tournament. I think you cannot take that for granted, because once you get into this stage, Final Four, championship, championship rounds, the Final Four, Sweet 16, and things like that. When you get into them high leverage moments, high leverage games, it come down to the little things. I think the Auburn gonna end up doing the little things more than what the Florida Gators gonna end up doing the little thing. Now, the key thing for the Auburn Tigers and what they need to do is find a way to shut down Walter Clayton. Cause Walter Clayton, man, he a problem. You know, ain't no other way to put it. Walter Clayton is a real deal problem, man. The way that he been taking over and controlling games for the Florida Gators throughout this whole tournament, beautiful. He's an excellent player, can be able to shoot the three. He been compared to Steph Curry. Being compared to Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time. That just goes to show you how well he's shooting the ball right now. The type of level the type of level that he's playing at right now. The type of confidence that he's playing with right now. The type of swag that he's carrying, he's possessing right now. That's going to be a dangerous team. And I don't want to overlook Florida at all because they got some good wins on their belt. You know, especially the type of wins that they've been having to overcome. They showing that they're a championship-ready team. They showing they're a poised team. They're a team that whenever adversity hit them, there is not a team that's going to waver from that, waver from a challenge. They're going to keep going and stay consistent and stick to the game plan in the task at hand. They're going to keep fighting. And the last two games for the Florida Gators, it looked like the UConn game when they were trailing, majority of that game, they were down double digits. It looked like they was going to end up losing that game, and they found a way to win. That is a gutsy win right there. That is a championship pedigree win right there. That shows that shows you that you have the know-how to win. It shows that when adversity hit, we now out there running like a deer in headlights. They trusting their teammates. It shows them they're a good, disciplined, well-coached ball club. But the thing with the sorry, I don't want to bounce around the subject, but like I said, with the UConn game, and I think I forgot who they played, who the Florida Gators just got done playing in the Elite Eight to end up getting to the Final Four. But that game, it was Texas Tech. It was a back and forth competitive game all the way up to the end. And Walter Clayton ended up hitting, dribbling out. I think he got an offensive rebound, dribbling into the paint, dribbled it all the way back out, ended up hitting a three and taking the lead right there. Man, Florida Gator, what they gonna do is they gonna stay down, stay consistent until they come up. They not gonna waver at all. They gonna stay even keel. And that's a dangerous team right there, because when you can stay even keel, when you gotta know how to win, that's a championship ball club right there. And that's what Auburn need to, watch out for. That type of experience, the type of, they done been through the adversity. They done been through the mud. They done been through the trials and tribulations throughout this tournament. So whenever a challenge comes their way, they're not a team that's going to back down or run away or waver from anything. They're a team that's going to stay consistent to what they're doing. They're going to stay to who they are. And they're just going to, take it one possession at a time. They're not a team that's going to go out there and try to play hero ball. They know who they is. They're going to stay to their identity, stay true to who they is. And that's what's going to make this game a good game. Because both of these teams are two well-coached teams. But the thing, like I said, what Auburn can take advantage of with Denver Jones being on Walter Clayton, he going to have to slow down Walter Clayton. You cannot let him run free, run loose. Because if you want a chance to beat the Florida Gators, it starts with shutting down Walter Clayton. Not even just shutting down. You got to limit his touches. You got to limit his looks. Because if you let him get going, or if you let the game get close, I done seen Walter Clayton time and time again. He kill you. Once it get down to the 6-minute mark, 5-minute mark, 4-minute mark, he like Dame time. It's time to come and clutch. That's what Walter Clayton is. But the Auburn Tigers, what they can take advantage of is being a hard-nosed, gritty team on the defensive side of the ball, being disciplined, not fouling jump shooters, not fouling, and keeping your hands up and being scrappy. Because the thing with the Florida Gators, what I've seen throughout this whole tournament, is that they will turn the ball over. The Florida Gators will turn the ball over. They did it against Texas Tech. They did it against UConn. They did it against Norfolk State. They're a team that would like to turn the ball over. And for them to have 2 7-footers, to have a size advantage over, a lot of the teams that they played in the tournament, it was 2 games out of the 4 games that they played, half the games that they played, They only out rebounded their team against Norfolk and Robert Morris. You know, Texas Tech was definitely smaller than them. Texas Tech out rebounded them. UConn out rebounded them. They was a smaller team. Auburn, they gonna come in. To me, I don't know if they evenly side. They gonna be evenly side. But the thing is, I think Auburn is a better rebounding team. So I think they're gonna be able to feast on the offensive glass, feast on the defensive glass, not limit the Florida Gators to second chance, where it's gonna lead to like kick out threes and things of that nature like that. And like I said, even with Janelle Broome being out, Petrifer showed you in big time games, big time moments, he can be able to take over a ball game and be the lead guard, being that good where he's not gonna turn the ball over. He gonna make big shots, make big plays, get his teammates involved. Denver Jones showed you in big time moments, big time leverage time, he can be able to knock down the 3 ball, knock down shots, knock down the tray ball. I've got the left hand, the number 10 for the Auburn Tigers. He gonna be able to make timely shots. But the thing with the Auburn Tigers, the only thing that I'm worried about going into this game is their 3-point shooting. Because like I said, Denver Jones can knock down a shot. Petrifor can knock down a wide open 3. Number 10, the left hand guy, can knock down the open 3. They got guys who can knock down the open 3. But the thing is, throughout this whole tournament, they've been shooting a little over 30%. I think like shooting right at 31%. That's not good when we're going up against a Florida Gator team who's lights out from 3. Throughout this tournament, the Florida Gators is shooting 39% from the field from 3-point. That's another thing. You got to run them off the 3-point line. You gotta be able to limit them second chances. You gotta limit Walter Clayton. You do those 3 things, you're gonna be sitting at a very good position. Now, granted, that's the tall task that I'm asking of what the Auburn Tigers to do. Is to limit them shooting 3s, because that's who the Florida Gators is. They like to get 3s up. Or Walter Clayton, one of the best guards in the country, trying to slow him down, hey, it's not going to be easy. But the thing is, if they can do at least 2 of those 3 things, they're going to be in a good position. The last time they played was when the Florida Gators had ended up beating Auburn back in February. The biggest thing that stood out to me was the free throw comparison. I think the Florida Gators shot around like 85 and above like 85% from the free throw line. Auburn Tigers, they shot like 60% from the free throw line. If they knock down their free throws at a higher percentage, higher rate, who knows what their ball game could end. They end up losing the game by 9 points. You shoot 65% from the free throw line. Like I said, once you get into the championship rounds, offensive rebounding, rebounding period, free throws, and turnovers. Those gonna be the 3 key things that's gonna either win or lose you a game. And once you going up against a team that's like the Florida Gators and the Auburn Tigers, who pretty much even kill, playing on the even playing field, those 3 things gonna end up being the key determining factor. Once I make this video, when they play tomorrow, I'm gonna show y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all. Remember this verbatim. Off rebounding, turnovers, and free throws. If the team that can either do all 3 of those things or do 2 of the 3 of those things at a better clip that the other team did it, that's the team who's gonna win. I guarantee you, it never fails. It don't matter what level you playing in, high school, college, NBA, the NCAA tournament. If you can do 2 of those 3 things, once you get into a team that you playing in that's on the even playing field, if you do those 2 of the 3 things or all 3 things better than the other team, you're gonna end up winning. But that's just why I got the Auburn Tigers winning, because, like I said, I feel like they can capitalize on the Florida Gators mistakes more than the Florida Gators can capitalize off the Auburn Tigers mistakes. Even because how I feel about the Auburn Tigers, I don't say they're a perfect team, but I think they're a well coached team. They got a good system. I just think they don't really have a lot of holes. You know, even with Janelle Broome, they got guys who can be able to come in. They got at least 3 to 4 guys who I feel, if I'm Bruce Pearl, that I can trust to score to give me at least 15 plus. Like, they can do it by committee. They don't want to have just one guy who, okay, give us 30. You know, opposed to Walter Clayton and the Florida Gators. Outside of Walter Clayton, I don't think, like I said, you can't let Walter Clayton beat you. And that's how I feel with the Auburn Tigers, why I feel like I'm leaning more towards them. Because if you take away Walter Clayton, I do. If I'm the Florida Gators, am I really confident in somebody else winning us this game against a high level team in the Auburn Tigers? I just don't see it like that. So that's why I'm leaning towards Auburn, because I think they got more weapons. I think they're a deeper ball club. I think they're gonna be the more physical team come tomorrow. And I think, like I said, I think they're gonna be the better team at rebounding. I think they're gonna be the better team at taking care of the ball. I just don't know about the free throw percentage. And like I said, once they faced off in February, they missed I think like double digit free throws, which end up coming totaling around 65%, which is not gonna cut it. Especially if you want to do things that you haven't done before, you got to do things that you never done before. If that makes sense, to go places you never been, you got to do things that you never did. That's just how it works. And that's why I'm leaning towards Auburn. Y'all let me know in the comment section. It's going to be a good game for sure. Y'all let me know in the comment section who y'all got. Y'all got the Florida Gators and Walter Clayton going off. Y'all got Auburn Tigers even with Janelle Broome. Or y'all think Janelle Broome being out, that's going to end up affecting the Auburn Tigers? Y'all let me know in the comment section. But I still think even with Janelle Broome being out, the Auburn Tigers can end up edging it out in a 5-point ball game win, in a close one. And I'm out. And make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe. And I'll see y'all next time.